Hello, my name is Taran Sadat. I'm an Iranian woman and I had to leave the country 6 years ago, and I'll tell you why momentarily. I'll tell you what is happening in Iran right now because people don't know. People around the world don't know what's happening to women and men in Iran, and you should know because we're all human, we're all the same kind, and you should just know. I just want to tell you what's happening to your kind right now. Today is September 26, 2022. 10 days ago on September 16th, Mahsa Amini died. Her hashtag Mahsa Amini is all over social media right now. And I'll tell you what happened. So there's this thing called the morality police in Iran that everybody is just scared of. They are walking on the street. They are Iranians, but they're heartless. They're Iranians doing this to their own kind. I don't know how much they get paid that they can put aside all the humanity and just kill and hit their own kind. Maybe they just had really hard, difficult lives that now they would do anything for money. But this is the morality police walking on the street. People are scared of them. If as a woman you're not wearing your hijab right meaning no piece of hair showing is fine, but if there's a little bit of your hair, if all is covered but there's a little bit of your hair showing, now they are allowed to arrest you. And being arrested by them is the worst thing. It was my biggest nightmare when I lived in Iran. I never really went out unless I had to. I never actually went out to have fun because they were everywhere. And I remember this one time I was at this mall and everyone was like, oh, the morality police is here. And I went to the parking. I took the elevator to the parking and I stood there for 3 hours in the parking until they leave, because I would rather die to be taken by them, because once they take you, you don't know what's going to happen to you. They insult you, they beat you, they torture you, they disrespect you, they rape you, so you just don't want to be taken by them. So when Mahsa was approached by one of these women from the morality police, the videos that are out shows that she just passes out, and that's scarcity, that is fear. She passes out, and then after a couple days, or I'm not sure, maybe the same day, on September 16th, there are pictures of her in the hospital and she passed away. They said that it was from natural causes. Well, Mahsa was 22 years old. What kind of natural cause? And then it turns out her skull was broken, so she was beaten to death. This is what happened, that Iranians are just like, okay, we've had it. Enough is enough. And now it's been 10 days that the protesters, all men and women, are protesting on the street against the regime, the Islamic regime, every night. And I am here, my friends are here in Canada, outside of Iran. There is just pain. It's painful. There's just pain in my heart. I can't do anything about it. All I can do is to speak about it, just like we spoke about George Floyd. Because all human lives matter. You can't just kill someone like that. You can't. In this Islamic Republic, men are not allowed to touch women. Women are not allowed to touch men that are not related. You've got to be related, or you got to be mahram, meaning you have to be married. That is why the Iranian foreign minister did not shake hands with French minister a couple years back. When she wanted to shake hands with him, he didn't, because you're not allowed to touch women that are not related to you. So how on earth are these men beating these women up on the street if you're not allowed to touch them? There are videos that the men are beating the women while touching her breast. And گذاشتم, one of our actors that doesn't live in Iran anymore, posted about that, and Instagram keeps removing the stories. In the past 10 days, at least 50 people have been killed. There is definitely more than that, but because the regime shut down all the internet, we can't get reliable information. Every time these protests happen, the limitations actually become more restricted because Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, they were all banned and blocked in Iran. And since these protests are happening the past 10 days, Instagram, Telegram, and Skype all blocked. So Persians don't have a voice in the world. So we are trying to be their voice. They are just out on the street with their lives on the line. And that only happens when you have nothing else to lose, when you are fed up. Everyone's going out because they want their human rights. Women want their human rights. I really appreciate the guys, the men that are going out, fighting for this, fighting for women, because it's 2022 and you can't tell people how to dress, and you're not allowed to take someone's life because they're not dressing the way that you want them to. So many other young girls that their lives are being taken away. There's Hadis Najafi. She posted something that went viral, that she was tying up her hair like she was going to war. And then a couple of days after, she was shot 6 times. Not once, but 6 times. They took her life away. She was in her early 20s. She was gorgeous. Ghazale Chalavi, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right. She was 32 and she was shot in the head. And they are shooting people with these guns that have these little bullets. I think they're called bird guns. They're shooting people like crazy. People have holes all over their body, and hospitals are to refuse these people. They're not allowed to take them. So their bodies are just all infected. They can't do anything about it because hospitals won't allow them in because they're not allowed. And that's just brutal. Just speaking about it really, really, really breaks my heart. I'm really not okay these days. The journalist, the woman that actually took the first picture of Mahsa in the hospital that went viral, has been arrested. Elmira Bahmani, she is a gender equality activist. She was arrested. Mahsa Amini was arrested. She's a lawyer and activist of women's rights. She was also arrested. Even though the internets are shut down, the videos that have gotten out, and we are trying to share as much as we can, are so violent that Instagram keeps putting down my stories because they are just very, very sensitive content. They are sensitive content because they are really treating people in a way that you just shouldn't, you just can't, you're just not allowed. People have no safety when the police is treating people this way. When then what kind of safety and security do you expect? They are breaking into people's home so easily. They just break into your home with no court order. They are shooting your windows when you're just sitting home. They are just trying to create scarcity and fear. But people of Iran are not backing off because they've had enough. Because obviously they know they're going on the street with the possibility that you might get killed, but they're still going. So that means they have nothing else to lose. They're going with their lives on the line. Ali Karimi is a very known, popular soccer player of Iran, and he was supporting the protesters along a lot of other people, but then he got threatened that if he keeps doing this, they're going to seize his property, which they did. Anyone, any known person, any known Persian Iranian that actually speaks out on their social media can lose their job. There's no freedom of speech for anyone, but for women, there's literally very, very limited freedom. You don't have the right to get a divorce. You don't have the right to leave the country without your husband's allowance and permission. You are not allowed to wear regular clothing. You have to cover everything. Only your face can show and your hands. And if you don't listen, you get treated that way. I don't know what is going to happen. This video is going to stay on YouTube for years. And I hope one of these days, if you're watching this video and if it's years later, I hope this is all memories and it's all over and people can have the rights of a human, because we are human and we want to have the human rights. They are fighting for it, and I really, really, from the bottom of my heart, hope that they can get what they want, that we can get what we want, that I can go back to my country, because even before all of this, I couldn't go back because obviously I wasn't dressing up the way that they want on Instagram. So I was so scared to go back. I couldn't go back to see my family, because the moment I would walk into the airport, I knew that I don't know what's going to happen to me. This Islamic regime, I am not going to say anything, but I'm just going to tell you what they're doing. Once the morality police takes you, they torture you, and if they're men, there is a really high chance that they rape you, they sexually assault you, and if, for example, you're a woman and you get a death sentence because it is haram in their religion to kill a virgin girl, they rape her first and then they take her life. Just speaking about this, it's not easy to speak about this, but I just wanted to talk about it. I just wanted to talk about it. Thank you for watching, and I hope that if you watch this, you say something too, because that's all we can do. Me alone can't do anything, you alone can't do anything, but if there's a lot of us, I hope that a change will happen. Thank you so much.